The 2023 presidential election is less than 5 months away, and the momentum is growing. The election is coming at a time when the entire country is intensely charged, and the Labour Party believe its candidate has what it takes to turn things around. Here at the unveiling of the campaign team, both the presidential candidate and his running mate are not present. The Director General of the Campaign Council, Donyo Kupe, expressed confidence that Mr. Peter Obi has 15 million secured votes ahead of the elections.
Let me assure Nigerians that as we commence the campaign for the 2023 elections in earnest, our party and our candidates will remain committed to the honest, clean, and issue-based engagements with the Nigerian people, whose mandate we seek in order to turn around the fortunes of this great country.
National Secretary of the Labour Party, Clement Ojukwu, announced a 1,234-member presidential campaign that will mobilize electorates for a successful presidential campaign. The presidential campaign team will be led by AIG retired Muhammad Zaliwa.
The Nigerian Senate begins legislative work on the 2023 appropriation bill presented to the joint session of the National Assembly by President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday.
Permit me to lead the debate on the general principles of the
leader of the Senate opened the floor with a debate on the general principles of the fiscal bill and recommended that the Senate sends the bill to the next stage for legislation.
The proposed 20.51 trillion Naira 2023 expenditure comprises of statutory transfers of 744.11 billion, non-debt recurrent cost of 8.27 trillion, personnel cost of 4.99 trillion, pensions, gratuities, retirees, benefits of 854.8 billion.
After his presentation, lawmakers took turns to make their contributions and suggestions on how the appropriation bill can be implemented. The lawmakers say the government must pay adequate attention to its recurrent and overhead expenditure, high cost of governance, persistent oil theft, and the need for increased revenue generation.
We cannot continue to borrow money to fund less than 1% of the population. If we do it today, we do it tomorrow. If we're alive, we will still account for it.
Well, oil theft has to stop, cost of governance has to be reduced, and GOEs have to be more accountable, and of course, the platform that we are using to collect revenues is faulty, and we need to do something about it.
The union members, which include the National Association of Academic Technologists (NAT), the Non-Academic Staff Union (NASU), and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SANU), says they have been compelled several times to remain at their duty post while their colleagues at the academic union went on prolonged strikes. According to SANU chairman, the union members have only received 40% value of the salary of May, summing up all salaries, allowances, gratuity, and subvention owed to the university turnover 10 billion naira.
The inability of the management to meet our obligation to the workforces is hinged on the failure of Ekiti State government, who is the proprietor of EXU, to remit the monthly subventions. The health and well-being of our members matters a lot to us. Hence, we may not guarantee their continuous availability to their services henceforth, and this may have unpalatable consequences in the university, especially now that the new students are resuming.
Elsewhere, the National Union of Road Transport Workers and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria has made a passionate appeal to Ekiti State government and the federal government to fix the roads leading in and out of Ekiti State. Both union made the appeal in Ado-Ekiti while swearing in new executives of the union after a prolonged period of crisis.
What happened today, this is the first time in history in Ekiti State that this one will happen.
before, if you want to change the government, we use cutlass, gun, and all that kind of things. But government said they don't need that thing again in Ekiti State. So we now sit down amicably and resolve to this point.